Alright, here we fucking go. Bloodstock 2024, and if you're watching this, you probably know what you're in for, or maybe you don't. Either way, welcome to the shit show. My name's Iain, I'm one of the many poor bastards who basically make sure that the wheels don't come off this heavy metal roller coaster. Last year I did this unofficially, snuck around with the GoPro like a teenager on Red Bull. This year they gave me the green light. So let's tear back the curtain and show you how the sausage gets made. Spoiler alert, it gets messy. It all starts with the essentials. High-vis, because apparently we need to look like glowing lemons. Next, the steel toe cap boots, because, well, if you've ever had a flight case land on your foot, you know why. And finally, the work bag, crammed with my hard hat, snacks, and questionable life choices. And just like that, we're off to Bloodstock. Just like with any journey, you need a banging playlist. I've got it, 90% screamy stuff, 10%, well, cheese. And just like that, we arrive. First stop, accreditation. No pass, no entry, no job. Now, setting up a tent is never simple. Did I film myself fighting with guy ropes and swearing in the wind? No, but trust me, it happened. Either way, job's done. My bed's sorted, table set up, not bad. I've got the obligatory can of Monster, and yeah, my battery packs and shit all laid out ready to go. Let's do it. The tent up and pass in hand, it's now time to do some actual work. First up, the rigging. Time to throw some steel in the air and hope that nobody fucks it up. Yeah, that's all the fucking rigging shit in. Now we're just gonna wait and sort out Underworld. The good thing is, right, the cable ramp has already been put in. It means that we don't have to do it. But instead, I'm underneath the stage waiting for cables to come down. Yeah, this will be the Underworld where dimmers and all that fun stuff will be. And probably fairy lights. So we first start off placing out the flooring, getting that all out, which poor Grandad finds quite hard work. But now that the floor's laid, we can get the dimmers in, which doesn't take long. With the dimmers now in, our part of the job is now done. We basically leave the tech to, well, faff and, yeah, plug everything in, because, well, that's his job, and he loves it. Just look at his work. Fantastic, wonderful. Yes, dimmers. Just like I said, there's fucking fairy lights everywhere. You can tell it's not their first rodeo. They've got a table and, well, a fridge with beer in it. Yes, lads. Meanwhile, behind the stage...
Fuck yeah. You want a license for one of them?
Oh, I see the issue here. The track's overlapping. Can't have that. And though I do see the logic in what they're trying to do here, I'm not sure how legit this is. But my god, that is giving it a good go. And there's Beefy with the sensible advice. And there's Mike with the not so sensible advice. Although there's a telly on move, that doesn't stop Yanis trying.
He's moving. It was on the fucking thing when I started. It is moving.
Well, that's a bit more than an inch, but we'll take it.
What do you mean? It is going to work, but it needs to get under there a little bit better. You need to lever it down in order to make it go up. Yeah. You've got nothing to lever it off. Let's get a load of it. Put the other barrel underneath the front. Yeah, that would work.
That could work, but let's revert to the original plan, which is use the telly.
Yeah, boy.
I love these lads, but my god, sometimes. With the back dock track now laid out, that means one thing, getting the last cases off these trucks and, well, going for lunch. Oh, I wonder what it could be. Okay, so we got hot dogs. Is that chili? Chili? Hot dog chili? Chili hot dogs? Oh, no, it's even better. Chili cheese dogs with little size lettuce. Right, let's see how this goes. Well, I got it in my mouth.
How much for 20 minutes of that, mate? Fuck me.
After demolishing that huge sausage, I decided, well, let's see how the artist area is coming along. And well, yeah, it's getting there. After that quick check-in, it's time to get back to work, building front of house and, well, getting speakers in so that there's actually noise. While we're doing this, we spot a wild Spud Man, being not so sneaky. That's enough of one, let's go. It's a good thing too, because, well, he didn't have a hard hat, and that's just not safe. Anyway, enough of that silliness. We're continuing on with our jobs and making sure that front of house gets all ready for, well, the front of house team, like the sound guys and the lighting guys, but they're currently, well, trying to get their trusses into the sky. Lighting aren't the only ones busy backstage, Backline are too, recarpeting their risers, getting them all nice and lovely for, well, drum kits and keyboards and, well, anything you want to put on top of a riser, really. The video peeps are quite busy too, trying to get their video wall up in the sky as fast as possible, and, well, to be fair, they achieved it pretty quickly this time. They've still got a bit of a way to go, but hey, at least it's up there and flashing. Do you remember Hammock City? Well, it's now Swamp Country, and yeah, we still sleep underneath the stage. But be warned, if you leave your bike outside, well, expect it to get some, well, nice stickers. Yes, we're quite childish if you haven't gathered by now. Just don't block our doorway. So with all the graft done, it's now back to camp for some enjoyable bevies and, well, to do the last job of the day, which is to rob power. This is an original idea. Other techs all over the world would have done this. But hey, we've got the equipment and the know-how, so fuck it. So it's the second day of the build. It's early, way too early. But the buggy's off, so we probably should be too. It's an early start, and the first thing on our to-do list is to find the Wi-Fi code. Well, at least for these lads. For my POV, I'm going to try and give you a little tour of the stage.
Right, so let me give you a little mini tour of Backstage. This is Drum World, right? As you can see, we've got all the shells and everything there. And that will be made up into drum kits across the weekend, depending on what bands need, what bands don't need. We've got some spare seats, you know, all that fun stuff. And over here is generally where we're going to be fitting our headliners for the most part, in this corner. Currently it's filled with other shit, but that's where they will be living. Mic World, where you're going to find all your mic stands and all that fun stuff. Some random power, just in case we need power runs and all that shit. Yeah, there's mic production case in here as well, drawers full of mics and shit. More cables and all that fun stuff. Everything we need to be able to make the show happen. Take a little step around here. Yeah, we've got, well, monitor world. So behind here and underneath all this is our monitor desks, which are covered up because, well, we're expecting a little bit of rain. So we thought, yeah, we'll just cover them up, see? Nice little Yamaha. Again, they're sensible. We've got a coffee machine, nice little cooler, and yeah, all your amps and all that fun stuff.
They've also got this box, whatever a party box is.
So these are called haze machines. What they do is they pump out haze, right, very small little particles, off into the air. And yeah, well, it allows us to see the beams. Yeah, over here is going to be basically like LX World. But as you can see, there's not a lot going on here. That's because obviously down there is, well, the underworld, which I've shown you earlier. But yeah, in here is basically where we send all the guest lampies, all of their, well, power distribution, all that shit. That will sit just behind me here. And yeah, that is front of house where you get the mix positions and the lighting guys. They'll all end up up there.
Hang on a minute, seeing that and the beer barrels, that must mean one thing. Yeah, VIP is getting there. All right, let's have a look, see what they're doing in here. Oh, it's the bar induction. Hello, bar people. You're going to be serving me and the guys very soon. Though I do think you've got some work to do with finishing off the bars. But hey, you'll get there. VIP stage is coming together very nicely. We like this. Oh, it's got a video wall. Hey, you shut up. Anyway, enough arguing with video walls. Let's see what's happening on the rest of the site. The vendors are getting their final touches done, and, well, yeah, Spud Man's in place, though I can't see him. Maybe he's off getting his mohawk ready for the weekend. Who knows what happens in private life with Potato Men. Well, let's see how Sophie's coming along. Oh, okay, we've got a majority of a stage, and, well, front of house looks alright. You know, we've got cameras, we've got the lighting desk and audio desks all set up. Nicely done, Sophie crew, nicely done. With that in mind, let's see how they're doing backstage. Alright, so we're putting together drum kits and getting them all ready. Also the cabs, nice. Even Video World looks set up. That probably explains why they're standing around chatting. Now let's see how New Blood's getting along. Stop waving and do some bloody work. And just like clockwork, the crew are at the back having a tea break. Which reminds me, it's nearly food time. I should probably go and get my ticket. On the way to catering, we came across these. Yep, this is 2 wheelie bins being prepped for battle. If you're wondering what I'm on about, then you've never been to Bloodstock because, yeah, we have a thing called bin jousting. Bin jousting is basically 2 teams getting 2 bins, putting their mates on top, and then ramming it into each other. Whoever comes flying off loses. It's pretty simple, really. But this year it's legal, so they've got to make it all H&S friendly, because beforehand it was done by the punters in their campsites. And well, it's been going on for that long that they've basically kind of given up and just gone, okay, fine, you can have it, but we're going to make it as safe as possible. And that's these lads' jobs. Anyway, let's crack on, get some food, and we'll check back on them in a second.
Merciful God.
I wonder what we've got to try today. Ooh, there are some good options, but let's go for the jacket potato.
We'll test these guys' customer service.
Same again?
Can I get a jacket?
Jacket potato?
Yeah. Can I get cheese and beans if possible?
With the concentration on his face, you can tell he takes pride in his work. But then this happens.
I know, he's run away. What am I going to do about the cheese? Cheese is there. Oh, look at you guys being healthy with your salads.
At first I thought he vanished mid-potato. No explanation, no warning. But no, he returns armed with gloves. Turns out you don't go bareback into
Cheers,
cheese.
my dude, thank you.
My man's got standards. And there it is, the classic techie fuel. Beans on the spud. Michelin star? No.
Down the
Mission
line.
critical? Absolutely.
Boom. Let's have a look. Well,
You could have split the potato and, put the cheese and beans actually in
I'll
it.
split it. Get some of that. No butter.
It probably was better, but I'm hungry. Now for the taste test. So obviously it didn't taste shit. I give it a 6 out of 10.
I've managed to eat my food and they finally got these fucking tyres on. They've been out here for a while.
Anyway, time to take the truck because, well, one of our headliners have turned up a little bit early. And I tell you, they brought quite a lot of shit. Look at how high that is. It's really tall, Tom. Well done. And it also goes back quite a way. But before we do anything, the head honchos have got to have a little meeting to discuss how things are going to go down with this. And they discuss things like what they expect from us crew and how much shit they got. Once they've done that, we can start tipping trucks. Luckily, everything's on wheels for the most part, something we are all very grateful for. Now that we've got all of these up, we should probably start unpacking them and pulling the shit out from below. Because once we've got all these cases out, we'll actually be able to start flipping stuff and connecting stuff and making it look more like, well, a stage show. Once everything's all connected, we start throwing instruments up and helping their techs. Just a random side note, you guess who the band is yet? Here's a little hint. Now, with most of the backline being done, it's time to move on to, well, the video wall and lights. First, we bring all the light skids together, like so, and then basically start checking data and power, and that all light locks are off. While we're doing this, the camera guys are getting their shots all lined up and checking angles and all that fun stuff. I bet it feels well weird being filmed, doesn't it? And here's a little update. Yep, they've still not found the Wi-Fi code. And here's another update. They finally finished the bloody bins. Let's go. I can't wait to see the carnage these two bins get into. But that will have to wait because, well, it's raining. And yeah, we want to be dry back at camp. Which means trying to make some sort of shelter. And lucky for us, one of our guys had this. And well, it kind of did the job. With shelter sorted and, well, us hungry and needing more beer, we head off and invade the local supermarket. After a little peruse, we find what we need and we'll head back to camp for some pre-beers and then to VIP for mango cider. While we're being menaces in VIP, there's a small group of people meeting on main stage, and all of them make sure you stay safe throughout the weekend. You've got medics, fire response, security, and well, hell, organisers. Probably shouldn't be filming this, so I'm going to duck out. Now onto the bit that you actually give a toss about, aka the show days, where we get to hang with all the artists and, get drunk. Yeah, I fucking wish. No, instead we're tipping trucks and making the show fucking happen. They're still finding time to swing in the hammock. Mixed in with all that, some of the funniest, most ridiculous moments from the whole weekend. So where should I start? I'd heard a rumour that the Artist Liaison team had access to ice cream, so I thought I'd have a snoop, see what I could find. Unfortunately though, they called me, so I had to interview them.
Riders, well, it depends who you are really. A generic, it's more just, here's a couple of cans and fuck off really. If you're important enough, you get what you want. We're watering them, feeding them, making sure they're pissed, all of the above. When they want more beers, we tell them no. We hate stage towel. You never know what pile is a stage towel, what pile is a bath towel, and then they never come back. They end up on someone's bus, they go to someone's house and you never see them again. We have to pay for those. Most requested item on a rider, always fucking beer. Doesn't matter who it is, where they're from, how important they are, they always want more beer. They just cannot get enough. I mean, sometimes they'd rather a cider, but what's the difference really, let's be honest? They want champagnes and stuff, that's normally a no. I've been doing it 4 or 5 years now, and it's Not long in the grand scheme of things, but long enough to know that it's fucking mental and people want everything and they want it now.
Hey, that's what you rider team do, isn't it?
We get paid to do it.
Yeah.
I don't really complain, but no, I do it anyway. Pros of the job, getting all the stock for myself when we're done. Cons of the job, that bitch in the sky. The sun is a deadly laser. Make sure to put sunscreen on because I have not. If you have any, I would appreciate it, but I won't use it.
Freaking vibes, mate.
Shortly after this interview, the artist liaison guys and the rider team felt sorry for us and gave us ice cream anyway. So it all worked out well in the end. We were starting to just cool down, but then all hell broke loose. So we all remember Hatebreed's Ball of Death, you know, this thing, bouncing around in the crowd, lots of fun. Yeah, freaking wicked. Up until the wind decides to take it and, well, bring it backstage. Yes, we had to try and get it back to you guys, but, well, it had its own ideas. And despite everybody trying their hardest, it just wasn't playing ball. Sorry for the pun. So after a little bit of time, we ended up deciding, well, to walk it down. Because, yeah, it made sense. Take it towards the gate, get it over, it'll be fine. Surely.
No, that's not gonna happen. Pump it over now.
You would think this would have worked, right? Guess there's only one thing left to do. Back to plan A.
This fucking ball, man, just won't go over the fucking wall.
And in that moment, it was almost like the ball said... And just like that, we were back to square one.
Oh, this is fucking brilliant.
Take it to the stage and do it again.
That was one of the more wilder moments of the weekend. But this one definitely hit different. So before the cowboy hats, before the whiskey soap legend, Lemmy was one of us. A roadie, a crew guy, you know, humping gear and tuning guitars for Hendrix, well before the world knew his name. And now, today at Bloodstock, part of him returns. It was definitely a very special moment to be a part of, and one which I'm sure these two will not forget. Now it's over to the festival organisers and Motorhead's own Phil Campbell, who played guitar for Lemmy for over 30 years. Phil carefully places Lemmy within inside his statue, and he is safely locked away. As you can hear from the crowd, he's still very much loved. This was a great way to show appreciation for a legend. I can tell you now, as we removed Lemmy from the stage, those chants were absolutely insane. Just listen to that. Though Lemmy's exit wasn't as smooth as we'd wanted. Somebody had run a cable across. But we improvised and we overcome. Then it was smooth sailing right to the back of the stage. The guys then take one last moment to admire the statue. And then it's time to take him off to the Ram Gallery, where he'll be on display. But not before a quick cuddle.
Cuddle with Lemmy, eh?
I'm just going for a cuddle.
Just going for a cuddle.
Now they've got Lemmy into the Ram Gallery, the issue is trying to get him on the stand. With a bit of guidance from Alan, Andy eventually finds the hole. With Lemmy now attached to his stand, Alan gives him a once-over, just make sure he's okay, and then says this to us.
Thanks for your help, our crew. We need it.
We don't do this for the spotlight, we do this for the love of the job, and for legends like him. And yeah, that was a truly beautiful, emotional moment. But Bloodstock does as Bloodstock does, and it snaps you straight back to reality, because over on our stage, one of the moles had decided to give up on life. Not part of the show, by the way, though the crowd definitely saw it. But this is just what happens. Things break, lights die, you sort it out and crack on. So we chucked somebody up into the truss, tied it off, dropped it down like it was completely normal. Because honestly, it kind of is. Like, you'd be amazed at the amount of things that break during a show that you'd never notice. And you're likely to see some of that a bit later. So make sure to keep watching.
I'll probably just hang it up over there, but I'll just put some road to tape around it so it knows death.
This poor little light gets the mark of death.
Just hang it on that rail for it.
Yeah, no worries. All the deads go to die.
Rest easy, fallen soldier. Sometimes in the middle of all the chaos, the sweat, the stress, the cables everywhere, you get these moments that just make it all worth it. Like Tom finding a way to abandon post and launch himself into the ground. Again. But to be fair, we are crew, but we're also fans. What other job lets you do this on your break? Then it's straight back to the grind. But for those 30 seconds, you remember why you do it. Now it's time for the big Kabuki moment. If you're not familiar, that's the curtain that drops at the start of the show. The game plan should be pretty simple. We've got each of our corners, we wait for the music cue, the lights go black, and we yank on the curtain like our lives depend on it. What could possibly go wrong? We head to our positions.
You go up, I'll go in here.
And for some deluded reason, I chose behind the sub. Once I got comfy, I thought I'd try and see front of house using my phone and see how they're getting on there. Yeah, they're all ready to do follow spot. Nice, getting their little brief. Meanwhile, Yanis is chatting weather.
35? Fucking hell. Then he starts winding up the camera.
The flamethrower over your head. Yeah, we're just trying to avoid that falling on top of that. But what I'm worried about that there are actual flames on that side as well.
It was quite funny, to be honest. Now, this is the great backstage limbo. The calm before the storm. The aggressively sweaty staring contest with time itself. You can feel the tension building, not just in the audience, but also in us. And then suddenly, a ball appears, just like the ball of death from Hatebreed earlier in the weekend. Except this one's a little less hardcore pick hills and more stag do web uplands.
Yeah, they're just popping the back statues.
Which means we're getting close, like dangerously close. But in the meantime, you guys seem happy playing with your little balls. While the rest of you patiently wait, just like us. We're still just stood here, holding a curtain, living the dream. And every time I think, maybe now. Nope, still waiting. Desperately hoping that I don't need a piss. I even reach out for the cloth, hoping that it's my time. But no. Then it gets wilder. T-Rexes suddenly appear. Not metaphorical ones. Actual inflatable dinosaurs, wobbling through the crowd like they're late to Jurassic Park. At this point, I'm wondering if I've hallucinated the whole thing. Maybe it's the heat finally got to me. Maybe this is my villain origin story. I start thinking, this is how it happens. This is the moment I snap. They'll make a Netflix doc. I can see it now. It was a hard-working tech until one day he just let go of the curtain. And then finally, the work lies behind the curtain cut out.
So the balls go up.
I look at Yanis like, the bulb's gone. Mate, it's time. Like two warriors acknowledging the end of a truce. Starting to feel like it's been way too long, and I haven't seen my family in years, despite it only probably being about a week. Then, it happened. I saw movement behind the curtain. Suddenly it's all real again. Hands gripping the curtain corners. T-Rex has forgotten. Balls disappeared. We're about to go. Gripping the curtain, waiting for my time to shine, to hit that cue. And then, blackouts. Now it's showtime. Now, to most of you, this looks like it all went perfectly fine. But in actual fact, one of the pyros on our side decided to stack it off with the curtain. We scrambled to find it, and as you can see in the video, there we are, just there, placing it back on the front of the stage. But none of you would have known. Mad, isn't it? But hey, that's show business. We did the Stage Ninja thing, so you get to enjoy the show. With the final cue of the day done, it's time to, fuck off. Grab our shit and ride out of this bitch in style. Right, so I know that ended pretty sharply, but don't worry, there is more content to come. So if you want more Backstage Madness, follow my TikTok, DRSA Disciples. And obviously make sure that you've subscribed to the Bloodstock YouTube channel, because there's going to be more there too. Right, so that is it for me, but I'd like to thank all the organisers from Bloodstock. Adam, Rachel, Vicky, Al, Hel, Paul, you know, literally all of them. Everybody who works this site. You've all been amazing. But yeah, it's 2025 now, and in a few weeks I'm going to be doing exactly the same. So keep your eyes out, watch this space, and well, yeah, let's go Bloodstock, baby. Fucking let's go.